Video posted to social media on Monday purports to show plumes of smoke over Tehran following the latest Israeli strikes on the Iranian capital. Reuters has not verified the date of the footage. Among Israel's latest targets, Evin Prison, a potent symbol of Iran's governing system. Evin has been the primary site holding Iranian political detainees and security prisoners since the 1979 Islamist revolution. The Israeli government released this video of Defence Minister Israel Katz in what it said was an operations room watching the Air Force hit targets in Iran. In a social media post, Katz wrote that Israel had carried out what he called the most intense bombing yet of the Iranian capital in reprisal for Iranian missile strikes on Israeli civilians. Katz said Israeli strikes targeted Revolutionary Guard command centers responsible for internal security. There were conflicting reports on Iranian media about the full extent of strikes on Tehran, a city of 10 million people, where much of the population has fled after 10 days of bombing.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime.
The latest Israeli attacks come a day after the U.S. joined the war when American B-2 bombers dropped 30,000-pound bunker busters on Iran's underground nuclear sites. Iran repeated earlier threats to retaliate against the United States. Defense Minister Amir Hatami said the U.S. had received a, quote, decisive response for every crime it committed, and said, quote, this time will be no different. But while Iran has continued to fire missiles at Israel, it has yet to take major action against the United States itself. Neither Iran nor its regional allies have fired at U.S. bases or targeted the 20% of global oil shipments that pass near its coast on the Strait of Hormuz. Oil prices barely budged in the first trading day after the U.S. joined the war, suggesting traders doubted Iran would follow through on threats to disrupt oil supplies. Iranian diplomats, meanwhile, sought support from allies. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Putin said Russia was making efforts to assist the Iranian people. In Beijing, China's foreign ministry called on all parties to de-escalate tensions. On June 13th, Israel began a campaign of airstrikes it said targeted Iran's nuclear facilities and missile operations, saying Tehran was working toward a nuclear weapon. Iran says its nuclear objectives are solely peaceful.
This mission was not and has not been about regime change.
Trump's administration has repeatedly said that its aim is solely to destroy Iran's nuclear program, not to open a wider war. But in a social media post on Sunday, Trump spoke of toppling the hard-line clerical rulers who have been Washington's principal foes in the Middle East since Iran's 1979 revolution.